We were launching a new product when I was in Unilever, and then they gathered around 400 people in a big salon, and then I was supposed to have half an hour to introduce the risks and precautions. So you can imagine my heartbeat tip for 5 hours, and then closing to my time was getting higher. So a lot of tension, a lot of anxiety, and then when I was going on the stage, I was thinking that you are going to add value. You know something they don't know.
Years from now, what do you hope people remember about introverted speakers on stage?
It's time to human up. Human up. Human up. Human up.
Before we begin, let's take one quiet breath in and let it go. I'll count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Welcome to the first episode of Human Up. Quiet voices, louder impact. Our guest today brings over 15 years of multinational experience across human resources, HSE, and leadership development. He brings calm, intentional presence shaped by years of working with leaders. Welcome, Mahdi. Khushu Mahdi.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be here. I'm looking forward to have a good conversation today.
Thank you. There is a long-standing belief about introverts and public speaking. What do you think that is? What do you think that belief gets wrong?
Well, let me tell you from the first minutes of this episode that there is a big misunderstanding about introverts. I'm introvert, and what I'm doing here, I'm speaking with people. So there is a big difference between introverts being introverts or shy. Introverts, when we talk about introversion, we are talking about preference. It's not about fear. It's not about confidence. It's not about competence. But when we say about shyness or anxiety, it's about fearing of something. So introverts don't fear. They prefer not to be in some places or not to talk about some topics. So that's a big difference, and there is a big misunderstanding among the people.
That lands. When did you personally realize introversion wasn't a barrier?
Well, I can say last 2 decades, I'm delivering a lot of trainings and workshops. The first one I did, it reminded me my childhood, because there I was gathering people. Let me tell you one interesting example. I was around 10, 12, and we were playing football every day. So I bought a book from the shop called Step by Step Teaching Football. And I was gathering people and teaching them. So when I grew up in a university, I found that I have a potential to speak, where there was a taboo in Iran about, maybe in Middle East, talking about HIV, AIDS, etc. So I took a challenge among the class that the teacher asked us, choose one of these topics. If someone choose the presentation about HIV, he or she will get higher score. So I took a challenge, and I selected that topic, and I studied about it, prepared a presentation, and presented to a group of people, the classmates, etc. So there I found that, okay, it's easy. It's a matter of preparation and taking a challenge.
What changed your perspective at that time?
Well, I was among those people confusing between introverts and shyness. So I found that there is a huge difference between these two. So when I prefer to talk about the topic or for a group of people, then I go prepared for it and I do my best for it. I found that I was also misunderstood and I was confused about shyness and introverts, coming from classmates, from parents, from, I don't know, grandmothers, the confusion. There I found that there is a big confusion, and I'm going to break it.
Yes, yes, I believe that's a myth that is long due to be broken. You've spoke about preparation. Tell me more how preparation contributes to the success of the speaker.
Actually, to me, as introvert, but eager and interested to speak to people, to group of people, preparation is the first one. So when I'm going to talk about a topic, I read a book about it, I read a lot of article about it, so the preparation. And then giving a space to myself, being silent before the class, before the workshop, before the public speaking. So that space I'm giving to me is letting me to be more confident and prepared for that moment.
That's interesting. You spoke about being quiet, being in silent mode to prepare for that energy draining moment. So what would you advise as a pre-talk ritual for those introverts out there?
Well, one of the techniques, maybe we cannot call it technique, honestly, is my approach. I go earlier, so I don't bring stress for myself. Imagine if the meeting or the workshop is going to be started at 10, I will be there before 9. So, and then walking is giving me, walking in the room, or even before reaching to the venue, I walk for 10-15 minutes. Don't think about anything, I just relax. So this gives me a lot of energy. And then another trick is that, because we as introvert, we have a limit in our energy and battery. So during the session, if there is a break, I don't go and engage with all of the people. I keep some silent. So I go earlier than people to the session again, 5 minutes earlier. So I go and walk to the room and keep quiet. So I go early. I disconnect with the people early. This gives me time to refuel.
Amazing. Do you feel that it is a bit nerve-wracking not to interact with the audience before actually keeping quiet? Don't you think that you need some kind of an icebreaker or something that calms your nerves down?
This was one of my biggest issue. I was always hesitating to enter a room, people ready and waiting for me. And I was not into that to ice breaking with everyone. Let me give you a funny example. When I was working in Nestle, someone from training department should take me to the room. Hello guys, this is Mahdi, is going to speak about this topic. And then for 1, 2 times, 3 times, they were doing it. And I found that, do you remember how did you start your presentation in university about that topic? No one was there to select it. And then I found that, what is the issue with me? The issue is that when I want to interact with a lot of people at the same time, I lose my energy. So I found that simple technique. Before they arrive, I arrive. So they were coming one by one, shaking hands, saying hello, and I was reserving my energy for everyone.
That connects. During those moments, do you turn to have like deep thinking, and how do you think deep thinking adds an advantage to speaking?
Well, I think this is needed, because when you think deeper, means that, to me, means that you are getting more prepared. As I mentioned earlier, preparation is a key for me, for introvert people, I believe. So when I think deeper, so I'm getting more prepared. And I'm prepared, I don't mind to talk about with 5,000 people, 500 people, 50 people, or whatever number you say. So this deep thinking helping me for that preparation, providing space and more confidence in me that, okay, this is the scenario. And I think about different scenarios. Even sometimes I think about the possible question they might ask when I go deeper. Okay, if I were this audience, what question I would ask about this topic? Then I review it again. Maybe I go and research or study about it. So this deep thinking and giving this opportunity for more preparation is bringing me more energy.
That is an excellent idea, to put it that way, to think of the questions that the audience might ask. Do you have any specific structure that you follow during your speech?
Yeah, actually I write down the topic and I consider time for them and possible questions, possible even challenges. Normally I get to know the people who are attending. If the number is lower than, I don't know, 20, 30. So if there is challenging person in the room, so I try to think about different characters might be in the room. The people who are asking a lot of questions, the people who are not at all contributing and participating. So I try to make sure that to have a scenario and a strategy for those people, how to break the ice or how to calm them down and stop them by wasting the time, etc. Yes, I normally go through the presentation. I simulate the presentation. I see myself inside the room, inside the conference room, and feel the atmosphere and think about different options and obstacles might happen.
All of these preparation pre the session and the interaction in the session itself is high energy draining.
Yeah.
How do you recover after that?
A good question. Yes, that's why I mentioned earlier. During the break, I try to spare some time for myself. So imagine if the break is 15 minutes, I leave the audience and people, 5 minutes before break is over. So I go to the room and work. And then after that, I have a funny example. I was in Iran for a couple of workshops 2 months back. And then one of the workshops was draining a lot because it was about culture, values, competencies. And I have to repeat the topic 2 times per day because the people were divided into 12 groups. And every day 2 groups should come to the room for 3 hours. And I have to translate and transform the values to them. And then it took a lot of energy. I was not expecting because every day, 2 times per day, I have to introduce myself. I have to connect with the people. And then on the second day, going back to home, the taxi driver was a talkative person. And I started talking, asking, and I was just relaxing and thinking and listening to the music. And I told him that I'm not a bad person, but I'm coming from a very energy-consuming meetings, so I need to just keep quiet and silent. So normally I keep silent. I walk. So I drop by, for example, 500 meters before destination to just walk on the street. So this is a kind of recharging and refueling for me.
That's amazing. We've spoke about the limiting beliefs or the myths about shyness and anxiety, like being misunderstood with introversion. What made you actually change or break that pattern? And what would you say to those who still think that shyness is related to introversion?
It is not. We can be shy as introverts, and extrovert can be shy as well. There is the big difference, as maybe I mentioned earlier, is about the fear. Shyness coming from a fear of something, but introverts is preference. I prefer to be alone this time. I prefer to walk after the workshop and do not attend after party, something like. I prefer because I have this amount of energy, so I know how to spend it during the workshop, during the session, and then after that, I need that time. It doesn't mean that I shy to attend the party or attend the after party something. So I have an example of mixing anxiety and shyness. I was speaking for a group of young programmers and developers at the age of 20 to 24 about leadership development, career path, and soft skills.
Yes.
And then it took 2-3 hours. The session was challenging because of the new generation, their questions and challenges different. So it took a lot of energy, but at the same time it was refueling me because I was enjoying from their questions and participation. And then I offered them a free mentoring session after the workshop. If you need to continue the discussion with me, I'm free to continue. This is my LinkedIn, this is my number. And a couple of them came to my PV, we arranged. And one of them started about leadership. We arranged a session. The lady talked about leadership development. I don't know which way I should go. And then she told me that I really like to speak like you, but I'm introvert. And I told her that, what do you think about me? You are super extrovert. I told her, no, I'm not extrovert at all. I'm super introvert. And she was shocked. And she told me that I was thinking that the same thinking we had in the past. I'm shy and introvert. So there is no link being shy and introvert. They are two different things.
Yes.
You have to find in which area you are confident and competent and prepared, then go for it.
I'm going to pause here because you spoke about two important points. One of them is fear, and the other one is that we need to identify areas that we are strong in. The first point, which is related to fear, I wanted to know more if you faced any stage anxiety or fear from your experience, and then we'll shift to the second point.
Okay, good question. I was watching a concert from one of the famous Iranian singer, Ebi. He is singing for more than 50 years, 60 years. The concert for 2 years back, and he was preparing to go on the stage, few seconds before going to a stage. And he said that, okay, I'm a bit anxious, this is normal. After 60 years of singing on the stage for the people, he mentioned that, okay, I'm a bit nervous and anxious, but it's normal. So it is normal to have higher heartbeat. It is. I consider it as a enthusiast. I consider it for myself as a interest. I consider that heartbeat I might face as a energy to go on the stage. I don't consider negative one. So yes, sometimes I might face. It's many years I didn't face a lot, honestly. But you might have some stress, if we call it, some anxious, if we call it. But it's not a fear. Because you are there to put and create impact on people. You are there to contribute. That makes me feel relaxed when I go on the stage.
That's amazing. Coming to the second point, you've spoke about identifying areas where we are strong in. What if the person have a limiting belief? What do you think is necessary for them to find their potential and capabilities to break that chain and start delivering, start speaking?
It was around 2 months back. I had a kind of mentoring session with a lady here in Bulgaria, in Sofia. The lady has more than 20 years of experience in one area. And then she told me that I'm afraid to go on a stage and speak. I'm afraid I don't have anything to share. And I asked her, okay, let me know what you exactly are doing. she told me that I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And I paused for a second. I told her that this topic, do you think how many people are aware of it here in Sofia, in Bulgaria? And she told me that there are few people. Okay, that's the area you can add value and you can contribute. And then I asked her, okay, can you complete the list? And he reached to a list of 20 items that she can speak about it with other people. So find your area like this. Or you can think about this, which topic I like it. I'm into it. I love it. When you love something, you have it, is in your control. Then you can make it a bit bigger by reading a couple of extra books about it, couple of articles about it, and make a simple presentation. And the point is that you can start from a safe area.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a group of people. For example, first time I learned about defensive driving, I attended Train the Trainer, so I have to train many people.
Mm-hmm.
I conduct the training for my wife. In full.
Mm-hmm.
I went through a presentation, practices on the road, and also the examples, the test. So you do if you are going to start speaking with people, in front of people, you may start with a smaller group, safer group, and then time to time expand it.
That's excellent. Were there any time that you thought you're not good enough, or you were focusing on the areas that is weaker, or I cannot go on the stage?
For many years, no. Actually, I learned to say no. They asked me to participate in a conference and talk about psychological safety.
Mm-hmm.
I know about psychological safety, but it was not my area of expertise. I was not prepared for it. And I told the guy, no, I'm not prepared for this topic. And it was very short notice. So this is just example came to my mind. So if I'm not prepared, I don't mind to say no, not because of the fear, but I should be prepared. I should have examples, because normally I use a lot of examples from my career during my workshops and trainings. So if I don't have that depth of knowledge and expertise, normally I say no.
That is really an added value, because we need to select our battles and know what we can deliver at a certain time. What do you think the strength that introverts or yourself bring to the world as a public speaker?
I think one of them is the power of silence. I call it power because it's really power.
Mm-hmm.
When you talk less, you give space to the people to reflect. And honestly, it's a win-win, because me as an introvert, I need space to refuel.
Yes.
So when I keep silence, giving people to think, to reflect, at the same time I'm also recharging. So maybe one of the big differences from the introverts, public speakers, is that they use less words, they give more space, they give more silence, they listen more carefully, I believe. I don't know, this is my belief. We can argue. But I think they are, in general, we are better listener.
Mm-hmm.
And when you are a better listener, people will find it and will observe it, and is a kind of credit to me.
Amazing. Active listening is a really important aspect and trait of a speaker as well, because we humans tend to speak more than we listen. How the listening itself influence your delivery?
Well, it's an art to be a good listener, and people will consider it as a respect. So imagine speaker is respecting the audience by listening carefully and deeply. So this is creating a kind of trust between the speaker and audience. It will create a kind of rapport between speaker and the audience.
Yes.
So to me, this art is helping a lot introverts and someone like me. When I listen to the people inside the room, inside the session, and give that space, magic of space to them, the power of space to them, mix of these two, create a kind of good connection, and they believe in what you are saying.
Interesting. I'm going to be greedy here. During your training sessions, how do you make sure everyone have a fair share of or time to speak their ideas?
Well, I'm not a trainer, maybe I'm a facilitator. So one of the skills of the facilitators is to read the temperature, know the people, their reactions, their participation. Either I go close to the guy and look at the eyes, or sometimes asking simple questions because I don't want to put them in a corner or uncomfortable situation. So normally I ask sometimes yes/no question. What do you think, Mariam? Is that right? He or she can say yes or no. Okay. So I will get his and her attention.
Yes.
So this is one of them. Sometimes I give some example. I can say, okay, for example, Ali, you don't mind if I name you, use your name as an example? It's okay. So I use them as a good example. So this create a kind of dividing energy and getting interaction from all the participants.
From your point of view, do you believe depth of character beats charisma?
Well, we need charisma for attract the attention, but the depth is going to keep it. So we need both. They cannot replace. So you need charisma to have the attention of the people, but to continue, you need to have this depth as well.
Speaking of the depth, how does introspection shape your storytelling on the stage?
Well, I try to bring a lot of real examples of my mistakes, failures. When you talk about your failures, this also creates a trust between you and the audience. I don't mind to say I made this mistake. So when I go inside, when I think about that topic, when I think about the audience, I try to have real examples, not all achievement, but including mistakes and failures. So this helped me a lot. Guys, I have done this like this. So, and this was the result. And this was the solution. What do you think? And give that a space to them to reflect and think and participate.
And did you find that resonating with them?
A lot. When I talk about my mistake, they enjoy a lot. And I'm saying, okay, guys, this should remain between, for example, if I'm conducting a training in Iran, I'm saying that this will remain, do not share it with anyone else. It should remain with me, you, 20 guys, and other 80 million Iranian. So they like it. they connect a lot.
What specific skill do you consciously develop to become a confident speaker?
One of them is about this presentation skill. I mean, the PowerPoint, I use less words these days, more quotations, more quotes, and the titles, because I want to discuss it. People get to use a lot of presentations, slides. So I don't use a lot of slides. This is what I've developed in myself during these couple of years. I try to work on my voice because 10 years back, 15 years back, I was more monologue and low, let's say, voice. So I try to make it more bold. I use different tone during the sessions. So these are 2-3 things I have developed these years.
Being a Toastmaster, I quite resonate with that. Tonality is very important. Which skill do you feel it made the biggest difference?
The biggest difference. Biggest difference. Among all the skills we talked, from the first minute of this episode, interactive listening helped me a lot. Not only for creating a trust between me and audience, but also to read them. I should listen to their non-verbal as well. So this is I try to develop, to see from their eyes, are they into the topic? Are they bored? Are they still alive, active? They are listening or not? So this interactive listener was one of the top skills, I can say.
And what took the longest time to master out of all of these skills?
Connecting with people. This is something. Still, I'm on the way. I'm on improving it, honestly. So connecting with people. Yes, there are some sessions I arrive later or after the participants are ready. So that's still somehow difficult for me. Not that difficult as 10 years back, but this is something I work a lot, and still I have to continue working on it.
How can an introverted speaker influence leadership, culture, or change through speaking?
Let me give you an example. I was working for a company. I will share it with my example. I was working for a company. During the meetings, management meetings, when things were going higher, the temperature, I was saying, guys, let's stop for a couple of minutes, pause for minutes, calm down, reflect, and continue our meeting. Few people were not agree with this. No, let's finish the topic. Listen, believe me. And then 2 months back, I had a call from one of those colleagues that we have added a mode in our meeting. We call it Mahdi mode. When things go, out of control, I say, guys, let's go on Mahdi mode. So bringing people to listen to each other, asking them to give a pause. That's why I'm saying power of pause.
Yes.
This will impact the leadership as well. So listen to the people, give them a space to speak. Do not interrupt their talking. This is something will change the game.
That really lands. Quiet influence outperform loud authority. Interesting. Were there times that you felt introversion is a barrier?
Well, I can talk about example of my time in the project. I was hesitating to talk to a group of people. It was hesitation. It was not a fear, or I didn't like it, honestly. So instead of gathering, one of my responsibility was, as a safety manager of the project, was to train people on the risk, etc. So I was hesitating to gather them in one place. Instead, I was going one by one to the people, and I didn't want to reduce the quality of the discussion. So I was spending a lot of time to convey the message, to convey the protocols and procedures to each person one by one. I could have them in one place, or divide them in a bigger groups rather than talking to one person or two person. But I was spending a lot of time to talk to each person in a project, and then in the evening I was lacking time to prepare the report and other things. Then I was thinking that I cannot continue like this. It was using a lot of energy and consuming a lot of time. Still, I didn't gather them in one place, but I tried to make them in a bigger group. Instead of talking to one person for half an hour, to another person for half an hour, at least make them group of 3 or 4 people. So this create a kind of space for me. Okay, you can talk with a bigger group from 1 person to 5 person. Then I found that the client of the projects, they had a safety team as well. They enjoyed with the performance of the safety in a project with our contractor. Then they were inviting me for sessions of 10 people, 12 people. Then the first session was a bit difficult for me because I didn't get used to talk with more than 5 people. But then I found that, oh my God, that's more productive to have more people in one place and talk about same topic.
Was it a bit nerve-wracking, and did you experience stomach butterflies during that time?
Of course. So as I mentioned, the first session and first few minutes of the first session was a disaster. I didn't know what I'm talking about, and then I try to give some space. I try to ask questions to give a space to myself. I ask a couple of questions to rethink, oh my God, what I'm doing. You are, expert in this topic. That's why I'm saying the first few minutes of the first session was horrible. But then everything went in a better way.
So, Mahdi, we spoke about moments where we say no because we do not have sufficient information about the topic. What is the determining factor of how sufficient you are in a certain topic, how knowledgeable you are, if I might say, in a certain topic? What is the defining parameter for that?
Well, very good question. We cannot define it. Honestly, because you don't know if you don't know the participants, from which background they are coming, from which university background or experience they are coming. What I do normally, at the very beginning of the class or workshop, I'm saying that there might be some topics, some questions, I don't have the answer. So I don't play a role of someone who knows everything. If either is a flip chart or is a whiteboard, I write parking lot. So if there is something I might not know right now, we will park it here. During break, if I can find the answer, I will share. Otherwise, later I will go and find it and share it with you. So I share this with the people. I don't know everything.
There's moments where we say no to things and it becomes missed opportunities as speakers. What is the determining factor to say that I know enough or not enough?
Okay. I can give you an example. I had a request from a company to train our management team on time management. Okay, but yes, I'm doing the leadership development workshops, but doesn't mean that I can train all the topics. This is not something I have studied about it. I have not read any book. Yes, I've practiced time management. I myself attended a lot of maybe workshops on time management, but this is not area of interest. I don't have a lot of examples or experience. I don't have that much to share. Still, I'm learning a lot, and this is not my interesting topic. Simply. So, yeah, I distinguish like this. If the topic is among my list or close to that list, maybe it happens. I went to a company. They asked me a list of topics to have a training for their management team, and I found that 2-3 of them are from a family. So ask them. For me, was less income, I can say, but I told them that we can combine these 3 to one. Is not 3 different workshops. So if I found that similarity, I will say yes, even if I'm not 100% hands-on on that topic. I will ask for a time. Yes, the topic I'm okay to present, but I need, 1 month to prepare the slides, to study. So that's why depends on the discussion, the topics. But if something like time management irrelevant to my area of interest, I say big no. And I'm okay to miss the opportunity.
That's really excellent. A lot of people out there are experiencing stage fear and anxiety. Apart from their personality type, was there a moment that you've experienced a nerve-wracking moment?
Oh my God, yes. Yes. I have a funny example. Now it's funny, but that time was real. We were launching a new product when I was in Unilever. The product was body splash, deodorant, and had a different risk than the previous product we had. And then they gathered around 400 people in a big salon from ministries, from governmental agencies, distributor, sales team, management team from the area, Middle East. And then I was supposed to have half an hour to introduce the risks and precautions to the people. The event started from 8:30 and my part was at around 1:30. Okay. So you can imagine my heartbeat tip, 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 for 5 hours. And then closing to my time was getting higher, tip, 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 tip. And then they called my name. Okay, now Mahdi is going to talk about it. And then I went to the stage. So a lot of tension, a lot of anxiety. And then when I was going on the stage, I was thinking that, man, you are going to add value. You know something they don't know. So that made me a bit relaxed. And then I went to the stage and took the microphone. This is what I think this is one of the tricks I use if I face similar situation. I start with a simple question, not a challenging question. Everyone 400 people want to answer or argue. A simple question. How many of you are aware of the risk of this product? Because I know that almost none of them are aware. So only few people. And I told them that, don't worry, I'm here to introduce the risk, the precautions, and the topic is also new to me. If I learn something new, I will share with you later. So this was the moment I experienced. The huge anxiety and stress. And then another example I have, I get to train less people during the project. My first training session in Unilever for the people was also something. They told me that the meeting is arranged, the timing is arranged, and honestly, it was very short notice. This short notice make me, nervous. They told me that tomorrow you have to train people. You have 2 hours time from this time to this time, and these are the slides. I was coming from a project. We didn't use slides.
Yes.
So imagine me coming from a project background, using the maximum thing we had was a flip chart or whiteboard. We didn't have slides. So even they provided me a slide. So over the night, I went through a slide, but I was deep researching about the topic. So the slide was showing something, and I was talking about something different. I received a note from my manager. It was almost a week I was working there.
Yes.
So I received a paper note. Mahdi, you are off topic. Oh my God. So going back to the slides. So this moment also, I experienced a lot of tension, I can call it. But later I found that, okay, we have something called the slides, PowerPoints. You have to think what you are thinking with what you are presenting.
That's an amazing and excellent technique. I've also appreciate you giving us a tip about the inner talk, where you reinforced yourself and said that, man, you know the topic and you're expert about it. I will definitely be using the same. How should leaders rethink presence?
I think they should think about giving a space to the people. And rather than increasing their volume, they should increase the presence by giving space to the people. I mean, do not judge people during the session, because we have introverts, we have extroverts, we have people who are not participating, interacting. So we should not label people.
Mm-hmm.
We should respect this, and then if we have some comment or feedback, let's share with them on one-on-one session, not during the session.
True.
This is something I think we can do as a leader.
So years from now, what do you hope people remember about introverted speakers on stage?
Even now we have a lot of famous speakers in TikTok. They are introverts. Go and watch those videos from introvert TED Talk speakers.
Mm-hmm.
Introverts are not shy. These are two different topics. So to me, even I've watched a lot of TED Talks videos, and I've seen those introverts, they have millions of views because they use less words, they give a space, they don't talk fast. So they are giving a space to the audience to listen better, to interact, to reflect. So forget about something called introverts with shyness. They are totally different. And believe in yourself. If you are introvert, believe you are not a shy person. Find your area of expertise, area of interest, and talk about that topic with people.
Thank you for this conversation. We bust the myth about introverts and public speaking to help others out there to progress and break that chain of limiting beliefs. This has been truly Human Up. Thank you, Mahdi.